Here we go, we're videoing. Good man. Listen, so we're gonna Midnight Rabbi music, Mr. Cow. Guys, you got it tonight. Lazer Lloyd, the best Jewish musician, is coming tonight.
You say that every week.
No, this is the best guitarist in the world. Joseph Kunin's got a beautiful voice, but this guy's got a beautiful guitar. In the Jewish world, which happens to be my world, and your world. Now these wonderful people is more famously known as the Terrible Two. No, they're famously known as my parents. Mum and Dad. This is Mr. Goldsmith, and this is Mrs. Goldsmith. I'm not going to tell you their names. They can introduce themselves if they want. My dad has got more stories than I have, and the truth is, any good stories I have are from him. So if you want to somehow get a story out of him while we're here tonight, pin him down, but don't disturb the show. But pin him. He should really have an hour here. The truth is, you get here a Led Zeppelin story. And,
here we go. Hello,
hanging out with the greats, Eric Clapton.
Jeff Beck.
Yeah, Jeff Beck. He was on the phone to. Who were you on the phone to recently? His big fan these days is Hulk Hogan. If any of you remember that guy. Hulk Hogan. They're brothers.
Hey brother. He's my brother.
And anyway, but Lazer Lloyd musically is working out very good, because my dad wouldn't, if you have some guy comes, he knows how to play a few songs, it's alright. But my dad's seen the greatest musicians in history, especially the recent history, in terms of just think of anyone good, and he was involved in some way or form over the last 40 years, is that right? 50 years? 40 years. So,
That's why.
Yeah, and that's why we have to bring someone to the stand at Lazer Lloyd tonight. So we have to thank Ari for backing it. Lazer Lloyd is bringing one of the brothers. Sorry, Rab Ari. One of the Rosh Hashiva.
That's all. Give me the video.
And the next story is we're going to bring the Solomon brother, one of them. Another Solomon brother, this one you didn't meet yet, and he's amazing on the mandolin, like really, really talented. They're both coming here tonight, and they're going to do a mix, hopefully, that's what we agreed on. English songs, like blues, with his own stuff, with some famous songs, with some Jewish stuff. It's going to be a good blend.
It's going to be a good night.
But the main thing is, as always, with Ashreinu, is that you guys have to make it happen by getting into it. You have to get your hearts into it. You have to enjoy the show. Bring it alive. I want everyone there. And if you take any pictures or anything, let me know. Post them or whatever. I want to see what kind of coverage you get, what feeling, what experience it was for you guys. Let me know, because we have to have some feedback on these shows as well. It's important. That we didn't talk about. I want to hear some feedback from you guys. I have asked generally, but specifically, if you can give me some feedback so I can hear from you what you feel about all the shows and specifically tonight. So if anyone wants to send me an email or post it on Facebook, whatever you feel comfortable with. If you don't want it public, we can change your name and change what you wrote and say it was amazing. No. But anyway, the main thing is, guys, remember, this is a Midnight Hour mystic music hour. So we're going to also have some mysticism, and the mysticism is that we can have someone who's as talented as Jimi Hendrix and Eric Clapton and any other famous guitarist, and still have a connection to Hashem, to God, and still be true to his Jewish values. He lives in Beit Shemesh. This is a local guy. He doesn't do so many gigs around here because he's way beyond that. He's already holding in Tel Aviv and big famous shows. He just did a thing with B.B. King. I don't know. He's doing big stuff. But you are Ashreinu, you are fortunate, and that's what we're talking about. Right now, we're ending off the time we talked about a few weeks ago called Shovavim. Shovavim is a spiritual time where we're leaving Egypt. We've already left Egypt, we've got the Torah, we're now on our way to Eretz Yisrael. And we all are here now in Eretz Yisrael, and we have the Torah, and we have talent, we have abilities, we are amazing, unbelievable people. And that's one thing I was going to share with you with Moshe Weinberg said this, one more like this. Our people have underestimated ourselves because we've been in exile so long, we've forgotten how great we all are. And that's one of the big things we have to remember, how unbelievable we are. And we have to use our talents. that's a big thing about this hour, is we're seeing musicians who are using their talents. And the more we see it and the more we believe it, we have the ability to inspire the world in all different things, in music and arts, in spirituality, and in just being good people, good examples, being honest in business. We have the ability to do all these things. My dad is a businessman, he's an honest businessman as far as I know. And, you never know business, but an honest businessman, and I think that's to his credit why he ended up with a son as crazy as me. As well, they're very good people also. The point is that we have to think about it. You know, it's a world which people don't have so much self-esteem, don't believe in their ability to achieve things, and generally people are forced into all sorts of situations, work-wise or whatever, where they're compromising. Forget that. We can do it. We have the ability. We're unbelievably talented. We have so much power in our soul and potential. I just read a book for one of my students. He's actually a very good musician, and if he's in there as well, we're going to put him on. His name's Zalman Krauss. If any of you know Zalman Krauss, he's a cool guy. He's about a year or two older than you. One of my students, he just wrote a book on music. I don't say spiritually he's like the best example in the world, and he can hear that publicly. But, you know, because we're all growing, we're all working on ourselves. But he has written a very interesting book, and one of the points I got from the book is very, and I do this part I give an Askama. I think it's brilliant. Not that it needs an Askama, but for me, I think this part is very important. To realise we are supernatural kind of people. That's what it's about. Young teenagers finding themselves and realising, I mean, there was talking about the drugs and other things, but the point is, without the drugs, a person can come to realise how much hidden potential there is inside of him and how much he can bring out. So, sit down, Mum. So there's so much ability. Thanks for listening. Anyway, guys, see you later. They just brought me here. It's very nice. Anyway. We have so much potential, we can bring it out and do so much good for the world. You believe that? Yeah? But we have to keep believing it, working on it and making it reality. That we can be shining lights in our own circle, in ourselves. First we have to find it obviously within, but we can shine it without of ourselves. And that's a big thing when you hear a musician who's Jewish, spiritual, and he's talented, and he's doing it. He's not just, you know, just some, you know, like guy who's playing in a little bar, keeping himself quiet. He's putting himself out there. You'll see. Did anyone see his music? Anyone checked him out?
I heard of him.
You heard of him? Whether you looked at the link or not, you're going to get blown away. This is not like a big show, so you're not going to have the loud, you know, vibe like Star did when they came. Star did a great job at bringing their whole setup so you could feel a little bit more the live show element. That you can go and see him live. I'm not saying Tel Aviv, but hopefully we'll make an event somewhere a bit more kosher, whatever. But either way, you can definitely get his CDs. And he was in a band called Yud, and I put him on four years ago, I think, in the Great Synagogue with 700 people there. It was the Battle of the Bands. I used to run it for a very short period because the rabbis couldn't deal with it. It was so good, and it was such a success. And I stopped doing it for some reason. Anyway, that was a big show, and he came with his band called Yud. And now he's so good. He's his own thing. Lazer Lloyd doesn't even need a band. He's his own thing. So guys, enjoy the show. And like I said, all these things are continuation, everything has a flow, so enjoy it, get into the flow, and we should be dancing, all of us, all shining, happy people in the base of English, the chorus.
Amen.